Hey everyone, Dan here again with Periodic Audio. Today we're on part 2 of our video series about how we build IEMs. Now I'm going to go into the parts of like sticking the grill into the plastic, into the body, putting gaskets on the transducer, painting the cap, things like that. I'm going to be splicing some videos together to make it a little more easy to follow and to understand. It's a bit different that way, and plus we recorded some video earlier about the heat press, so there's just going to be a little short segment about the heat press, and then I'm going to splice into video. But that's what we're going to be covering today, how we actually put IEMs together. So take a watch. I think you're going to like the rest of the video. It's the first part, and then in the next video, we're going to be actually doing some assembly. So there you go. Have it all. See you in a second. Yeah, this is what we do to heat stake. It's basically 2 parts. There's a form down here that presses in and pushes things down. This is heated. And then, of course, there's a nest down here where you put the actual part that's getting the thing pressed in and wedged. It's, of course, all lined up, stuff like that. This runs on pneumatics. This is a pneumatic cylinder up here, so the air comes down, pushes it, and it deploys, things like that. It's slowly heating up. We run it about 120 degrees C, so I'm not going to let it heat up all the way, and I'm not going to do that just to show you one unit. We've got video showing everything else. Number of strikes we've done, every 800 to 1,000. We recalibrate, make everything straight on line. We've never had a drift after 1,000, but, we do that anyway. How long it's going to actually run for when you actually activate the unit, power, pressure valve. The 2 green buttons, you must push the 2 green buttons at the same time for the thing to come down and hold them the whole operation. You release them, it doesn't work. If there's a problem, your finger gets mangled, that's why you push this button. And we have a little compressor underneath that runs the whole thing. So that's this. You're going to see in a few seconds here now about how we actually run and heat stake grills into bodies. Hey everyone, now we're going to put gaskets on the front. So transducers come, to us like this. This is a beryllium. It's got a red on the back. It's a magnesium over here. It's a blue on the back. So I'm just going to do one of these really quick, because ideally what we want is it to end up like this with a little gasket on the front that seals the air and holds things together. So what we do is we start with our handy dandy sheet of die cut, double-sided, pressure sensitive adhesive loaded foam. And so I'll pull off one of these little gasket rings like that. I'll go ahead and put it on the transducer as best I can. I'm, okay at this. So there we go. It's on. Great. We give it a little bit of a rub, a little bit of a press, and then we go ahead and we can pull the backing off if we want to. But that's where it is. I'll show you the backing later. So that's what we do. So that's how those things are foamed up. And that's that next step. Okay, everyone, this is the last little prep step we've done. You've seen us press grills. You've seen us add how we add foam to the transducers. Now we're going to take the back cap. This is just a plain black back cap, and we're actually going to paint this one gold. There it is. That's a beryllium. So it's really pretty simple. What we do is we just kind of dip it in and give it a little rub like that, and the paint tends to stay only in the logo because the logo is actually depressed. It's an embossed kind of thing. So we'll do this a couple times, get it kind of good, and I'm going to let this sit and cure. And after about 10 minutes, this is an acrylic paint. After about 10 minutes, I'll come through and I'll wipe it off with actually a Clorox wipe, and that takes the paint off and leaves it only in the groove. So that's what happens. So these are actually dipped by hand. Every single unit here is dipped by hand and coated. You can see it's kind of like starting to take into the grill, into the pattern a lot. Every single unit we do by hand. It just kind of works best that way for us. So there you go. This is how we paint them all the different colors. We get acrylic all of ourselves, but you sit down and you kind of have fun for half an hour and you blast through a couple hundred of them and you're done for a while. So that's how we paint the grills. Okay, so at the end of all this, the first prep process, what do we end up with? Well, we end up with a body that has a grill in it. You can see that little grill there. We also end up with a cap that has paint in it. It's going to get cleaned up after assembly. And we also have a transducer with a gasket on it. So these 3 parts are ready to go into the body on the next step. So we'll be covering that later. You're going to see how we actually do some quick assembly, how we put the transducer in the body, how we put the connector in, and how we connect the connector to the transducer. We're all good to go. So there you go. So there you saw how we actually put all this stuff together. We put it together with the front. You saw us put the grill into the body. You saw us put the gasket on the transducer. You saw us paint the back cap. So those are the three parts. They're all prepped. Tomorrow you're going to see us actually put the transducer in the body, put the connector in, our ideal connector in, connect the connector to the transducer, get it all ready to go, prepped up for testing, which happens. So you're going to see that later. So I hope you all like it. Check us out, Periodic Audio. We actually make the stuff right here in Las Vegas. We make it by hand. I'm kind of slow at it, so I got other folks who really do it. But we make everything by hand right here in Las Vegas. I hope you enjoy it. Check it out. See you. Bye.